in today's video, we're going to be talking about Pinterest. We're going to talk a little bit about if you're interested in Pinterest, why it is a good marketing tool. I'll share why I prefer it as a marketing tool. And we'll talk about some of the newest things in their algorithm. They do change their algorithm. Can't say yearly, but they do update things. So, which I know is a frustration to some people, but we're going to talk about that a little bit. I'll share with you some suggestions of what they're doing right now and a couple places where you can look for further information, any possible strategy for you. If you are new or returning, welcome. Here it is, So Primary We Talk Teacher Side Hustles. Okay, so let's just give a little bit of general information about Pinterest if you are new to Pinterest. Pinterest, first of all, is the third largest search engine on the internet behind Google and YouTube. When it first started, I think a lot of people just used to post recipes, DIY, clothing, and all that, but it has become so much more. In 2024, I wrote this down because I was going to forget, there were 498 million monthly users. 400, that's half a billion. And for 2025, already it is over 500 million. So there are a lot of people using and on Pinterest on a daily basis. And one of the stats that I did not know, this came from the website Social Pilot, that over 88% of users have made a purchase after discovering a product on Pinterest. Okay, so people are not just browsing, they're buying. So as a seller, that's a good thing. I have shared, and I will continue to share, that if you are starting your TPT store, get it so that you get a very solid foundation before you branch out to marketing. Just focus on your products, high quality products that preferably that are trending so that people will find them. But if you want to use marketing, I would suggest only one. And personally, outside of email, my favorite marketing tool is in fact Pinterest. Why? I heard this analogy years ago about Pinterest, and it said Pinterest is like a library. You don't have to talk to anybody, right? No one has to talk to you. You can go there, and there is just shelves and shelves and shelves of topics and interests and things, and you just grab what you need and you walk out and no one bugs you. And there's an introvert side of me that loves that I can just post a pin. I don't have to wait for engagement, right? I can just do that and get back off, or I can even schedule it, right? And just be done with it. And that is honestly how I have treated Pinterest. No one's going to engage with me. Actually, I shouldn't say no one. I do get the occasional engagement, but oftentimes it's spam. It's a very easy platform to commit to, but not have to spend even more hours trying to build engagement. Because when it comes to Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok to some extent, engagement is what gets your stuff seen, right? It's not enough to just post how many, sorry, I have a cat. The cat was sleeping. Fine. Then I start talking, cat gets into the litter box. Anyways, too much information probably. So with Instagram and TikTok, they have said the algorithm wants engagement. So that means you got to make this concerted effort to engage and hopefully bring engagement back to your accounts. Whereas again, Pinterest, don't need any of that. Okay, so based on the recent change, I think there was a change in late 2024. These are the suggestions when you're making pins. Okay, quality over quantity. I wonder where we hear that from, right? High quality, visually pleasing. You can do this text overlay. They want that. okay? And they want what we call the fresh pins. Fresh pins are where you make one pin for one board and then make another pin for another board, and you're thinking that's a lot of work. I don't think it's any different than making posts and reels for Instagram. I really don't. I think it's less, personally. They want content that is long form. So for example, what is long form content? A blog post, YouTube video is considered long, podcast is considered long. Sending a link or using the link to your TPT store is not considered long form, okay? Doesn't mean you can't do it, but they favor pins that do have long form. They want you to align with trending topics. This sounds so familiar. TPT. YouTube is like this too, okay? And then they want to make sure your pins are optimized for mobile viewing because the high percentage of their users use their phones. So those are the big ones. If you don't have Pinterest and you're interested in Pinterest, I do have other videos. I'll probably put some Pinterest cards towards the end. They'll be up here in the corner. Set yourself up a business account. It's free. And then you need to do some keyword research, just like we do keyword research for TPT. Now, it works a little bit differently, but often you can go into the search bar. Pinterest also has trends. Okay. I took a quick peek of trends in, I think about 2 weeks ago because I forgot to put this video up. Pinterest has its own trend tools. So you can search your terms. You can search terms like lesson plans, classroom decor, centers, right, at math activities, and they will tell you which months they peak. Now with Pinterest, you need time. So one of the things that I'm already looking at right now is back to school, okay? At the time of this filming, it is the site-wide sale for the teacher appreciation. May is Teacher Appreciation Month. I would not be making anything for May and June right now on Pinterest. I am posting things for the fall. I want to get my pins at least on Pinterest for 60 days, even 45 days, right? So if I want something before the back to school site-wide sale, which is in early August, then I want to make sure I've got something sometime in June posted to get traction to be seen by August for that site-wide sale, okay? Or just even getting my stuff seen, right, period. But you could start even now looking at search terms such as back to school or end of year gifts, centers, right? You've got all these different slightly bigger terms that you can put into the search bar and they will pop up. If they pop up, you know someone's looking for them. If they don't pop up, no one's looking for them with those words. Exactly the same as TPT. You're going to set up some boards and make them very intentional. Okay, boards are just places like file folders where you're going to organize your stuff. So for example, you could do a teachers pay teacher resources, or you could do subjects. So say you do math, you can have a math board. You could have, like for me, I have my blog has a board, my YouTube channel has a board. I have different boards based on where the links are going to go to. Boom cards, I have a board. You don't make them very fancy, but you make sure that there's good descriptions with them. That's something I got to work on, and that's part of my early summer project. One of the things I would recommend that you would do, okay, besides looking at, having these quality pins, okay, there's different types of pins. There's what's called a static pin, and all it is I go on to Canva. I actually use, when you create a design, it gives me the size. Okay, I'll put it down here because I've forgotten what it is at the moment. Some people do a 2:3 ratio, 2 to 3, or 3 to 2 actually. So it's a long rectangle. I can take a background from Canva, and then what I do is I take a screenshot of my product. I'm actually going to post, I'll just show you a picture right here. So everything except for the little unicorn pictures are from Canva. Now I have Pro, but I suspect most of that there is also in the free. Okay. Someone asked me if I could show them how to make covers using Canva. I will do that. I might even do it as a short because I don't think I need a lot of time to do it. So shorts, YouTube shorts are now 3 minutes max. I think I can show it in 3 minutes. So it's on my list. Okay. But all I did was I found backgrounds, especially with a computer. If anytime you're selling a product that is digital, use computers or tablets or something like that in your image, right? That just helps them to visualize your product. But I have a text overlay, as you can see. Okay, and a text overlay can also go right over the whole image. You could make the image more transparent and then just put the image right over top of it. Right? And you want to do it, you don't want to fill the whole thing, you know, get some standout words. I keep my pins very basic and they do okay. Now that's a static pin, but you will get more views if it's a video pin. Video pins will take a little bit longer, just like a reel or a YouTube short. But again, using Canva, I can animate that whole pin, right? So I'm going to take this exact pin, I'm going to change some things out, and then I'm going to animate it. And now I've got a second pin that I can send to upload to Pinterest, put it to another board. So this one is currently in my Boom Cards board. Now I do have one that just says digital resources. I could pin the other one as a video pin, and I could send it to digital resources as opposed to Boom Cards, right? Because the links are going to be the same, and I don't want to be sending multiple pins to the same board. This is a process. I was asking ChatGPT about a month ago what would be a good strategy. I said I would like to get I used to have monthly views close to about 50,000. Actually, I think it was 42. And my goal was to hit 50, and I just let it go. I'm like, I don't know, I was so close, and I don't know why I let it go. You know, life gets busy. And now it's bottomed out. It is probably at something like 500 monthly views, which means people are still looking, which is crazy because I have not posted pins for maybe a year or two. I still get eyes on them. But I want to know how quickly I could get back to, 40, 50,000. So I'm going to try and work on them over the next 6 months. So I asked ChatGPT, I said, would it be a fair assessment if I posted, how many would I need to post to maybe get this traction back? Because it's still going to depend on how I'm optimizing them and how I am, labeling them, how I'm presenting everything, right? It still has to be high quality. Quantity is not going to help. I mean, it's not going to hurt, but it may not necessarily boost your views if people aren't clicking on them, all right? Or they're just scrolling past them. And they suggested 3 to 5 a week. And I thought 3 to 5 a week, that doesn't sound right? I thought, I'm not so sure about that. And then I thought, this is, again, ChatGPT is not perfect with everything. So I am going to, right now, while school is still in session, I am going to try 3 to 5 a week and just see if I can get my foot back into this. I suspect if I really wanted to amp it up, I would suspect it would have to be closer to 3 to 5 a day. And if you are a brand new seller on GPT, this can be difficult, okay? Because how do you create different links to your stuff? If you have an established store and you've got, say, 100 products, you got 100 pins right there. You can change things, and if you have a blog, you should be putting all your blogs on Pinterest. And when I started pinning my blog posts, things started to change on my TPT account. And I had heard this from, I was listening to a podcast, I think it was called Thrive. And then I have taken a Pinterest course. There are a couple people I would recommend, before I forget this, if you're really, really interested in Pinterest, there is a YouTube account called Simple Pin Marketing, I think. I'll put it down below here, and I'll put a link at the bottom in the description. I really like her. She's very no nonsense. This is how it is, okay? So if you've got time, if you can commit to 5 to 10 hours a week, because that's maybe what it's going to take, you can do pins rather fast, but it's just getting yourself into the groove of making them. They're definitely faster than resources, that's for sure. But anyways, I listened to her, and I also took a Pinterest course a few years back. I think it was just after the pandemic. Anyways, by Natalie Bardot. I saw her in a Pinterest boot camp. I really liked her, and fellow Canadian. I thought, gotta support the Canadians here. I mean, and I learned stuff right on my first, I think, lesson that I watched about different things. Some things I still haven't even implemented. There was so much she was giving, and I was like, okay, I gotta work on this. And that's the thing, is you got to set aside time to do this, much like setting aside time for your resources, and follow through with that. Take action and keep taking action. What I'd like to do is I'm going to share with you probably in September. So that would give us like 4 months, May, June, July, August, September, almost 5 months. And I'll just let you know, I've already been taking screenshots of where my Pinterest account is right now, and I'm keeping track of how many pins I'm putting on. Again, I'm only doing 3 to 5 a week at the moment. My goal is to get 3 done a day in July and possibly August, just to see what would happen. And then I'll let you know on the results of that. Teacher sellers on TPT have a real love-hate relationship with Pinterest because the algorithm changes. They don't like algorithm changes. You know, as teachers, many of us resist change, and Pinterest is probably the most consistent of the platforms to make algorithm changes. They do it, I can't say it all the time, they do it a lot. And people get frustrated and they get off it. They're like, oh, it's dead. Well, it definitely is not dead if it's got over 500 million people on it every month. That's crazy. That's growth. Okay, so if these TPT sellers are not going to be on there, that's just more room for us. It doesn't bother me, right? If they're not happy with it, if they're happy with TikTok or with Instagram, that's great. And if you think you're going to be happier on Instagram or TikTok or even Facebook, that's fine. I am just presenting one way of marketing. And again, this is what I call the most non-evasive, right? You can just do it quietly, and right? No one even has to know. You could put a logo up and no one has to know, right? If that was the way you're feeling. But I did want to share a couple facts that I found. One from Education Week said, in a 2024 survey, Pinterest is among the top 3 social media platforms used by teachers alongside YouTube, Facebook. Interesting. This underscores its significance as a resource for educational content and classroom inspiration. Okay. And then another one, this is by Deans for Impact. And this was a study indicated that nearly 90% of U.S. elementary school teachers utilize Pinterest and Teachers Pay Teachers for lesson planning, highlighting again the platform's role in educational resource discovery. There are so many more things I can say about Pinterest, but I'm going to stop it here because, again, I'm not the Pinterest expert. I like Pinterest. So give Pinterest a try. Let me know if you need direction with things. Like I said, I'll put some links down below. And yeah, I'd love to hear your experiences with Pinterest. I'm okay if you hate it. That's perfectly fine. For the upcoming video, I am super excited about this. And so many of you are not some of you are not even watching this video, so you're not going to hear this. But I will post it in the YouTube community post because I'm going to be live in the comments on the next video. Okay. This video, I don't know where I got the idea about this. Actually, I probably do know where I got the idea. It was from a town hall meeting that Paul said something and I went. And I didn't think about it then, but I woke up one morning and I just started thinking about it. What would I do? So the video is on what would I do if I was CEO of TPT. This is going to be a classic. I've got some crazy ideas, and I am, if I'm brave enough, I'm going to send the whole video to Mr. Paul himself. So wherever you are in the world, I hope you and your family are staying safe, being healthy, and we'll catch you in that video or the playlist. See ya.